That's some really good music, seriously.
It is, right? It hits all the notes. All the classics.
All right. Welcome, everyone. It's going to be a little weird looking up at the camera because normally it's like right here, but now we're going to look up to it. All right. So we did go live, and I know there's at least one watching right now. I'm going to refresh the page real quick, just make sure it's good. All right.
At least one participant.
We have at least one. I am... Oh, there is someone waiting. Okay, whomever is waiting is actually in the wrong room. So you are in round 2. You should be in round 1.
And we can drop that in the Google chat as well.
Okay, let's see. So I wonder if maybe I could send them. Go to next round. Go to next round. I don't want to show them.
Right. Perhaps you can warp them to the appropriate round.
Yeah, select them, and I want number 1. Like I told everyone during The Simpsons 1, there's always issues. If you're a veteran of these, you know there's always an issue.
It's gonna happen.
Okay, so we do have the one person right now. So, hello. I don't know if you are logged on to YouTube. You will have to be logged on if you would like to chat. If not, that's cool. You can go ahead and just play along and watch.
But please know that if you'd like to communicate with us directly, you can. You can just type into the chat, and we'll see any comments you've got about the questions or our commentary, which will be ongoing.
No Ouija board required. You can just communicate with us the same old boring way.
No necromancy necessary.
Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can see what person is here, because I would like to greet them by at least their screen name, but I can't.
Can't see their name.
Oh, maybe participants? Orlock.
Okay.
Orlock. Very nice.
A reference to Count Orlock, perhaps?
Okay, we just got another person.
All right.
Hi, Kayla.
Hello, Kayla. Hello, Orlock, Count or otherwise. Will we have a question about that film, perhaps?
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
Perhaps the 1970s remake, directed by Werner Herzog.
There is the new remake.
Yes. Well,
didn't they just get a director?
Well, it always had. Robert Eggers this is his dream project to do a remake of Nosferatu, and different actors have been attached at different times. But supposedly that movie's got the green light. It is moving forward, and
I don't know how
that one's a dream for me. I'd love to see it.
Oh, we got another person. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. If you have not logged on, you can go ahead and log on to CrowdPur if you want to go ahead and play. If not, just chill out. We are going to seriously nerd out on horror movies right now. I'm going to go ahead and give everyone just another minute, and then we'll go ahead and get started. We should be...
Pumpkin.
I was just going to say, like, if you want to, just for the new people, if you want to go ahead and communicate with us, you will need to log on to your Google account, YouTube account, just so you can use the chat. We don't have an alternative way to do it. And someone is making full use of that, sending us a lovely little pumpkin gif. Or jack-o'-lantern. Oh, before we get started. So yes. I was watching something yesterday.
Okay.
And you know how they have different types of pumpkins, right?
Sure.
Like you can buy seeds for different kinds of pumpkins, right?
Yeah.
And the traditional pumpkin that we see for Halloween are the jack-o'-lanterns.
Okay.
I swear this person must have thought they were serious, you know? I don't believe they were making this up. They were holding up the seed packet to the camera because someone must have, started filming them. And they're like, so what seeds did you get? I got the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. Like, well, no, that's just pumpkin seeds. Like, no, it's the jack-o'-lantern. See, look, it says jack-o'-lantern. I'm going to grow jack-o'-lanterns. They didn't have the face.
So it would sprout from the earth with a
little
grin
smiley face.
or a frowny face or in the shape of a witch. I love that. That's great.
It was pretty fantastic.
Yes. Nothing but sincerity as far as the eye can see.
I lament the decision that is now strictly on Apple. What is that? Apple Plus?
The Great Pumpkin.
Yeah. Is that what it's called though? Apple? I don't have that.
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Apple Plus? Is that what it is?
Someone correct us on that. I don't have it. But yeah, so they have all of the Peanuts content, and they were supposed to do it last year, but they didn't, I guess. But this year,
no,
yeah.
I did not know that.
Great Pumpkin, strictly on their streaming service.
Last year, you did a trivia program that was family-friendly Halloween movies, right?
2 years ago.
Was that 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Wow.
I was just
For the viewers at home, it's been a wild 2 years.
It's a spooky family
Yeah.
movie.
That was very
yeah,
cool.
that was good stuff.
Yeah, since then there's a new Hocus Pocus movie. And
yeah, I was just
Peanuts
saying.
has moved to Apple-only content.
Yeah,
Wild
seriously.
world.
But I was just discussing how we probably should start doing some of the old topics since
We could. Yeah.
they're just revamped now.
That's true.
Okay, everyone. I'm going to move this down so we can continue monitoring the chat. We could probably go ahead and get started now, about 6:44, 6:45 in a moment. Let me come back over here. All right, so everyone should have Horror Movie Trivia 3, Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch.
And that is General Trivia Round 1. So that's what everyone should see right now. Let me peruse the other rounds. There's someone over here.
And if anyone has questions about any of this that we're discussing, you could just drop that question in the chat. If you have comments about stuff like volume or anything that we actually have control over, you can ask us about that in the
That's
YouTube
very
chat as
true. Well. Okay, I am moving someone around. Okay, now we have 3. For the person I had to move around, I apologize. I don't know how you ended up in the wrong round, but this is exactly why I always look. I had like 4 people during the last one go into the wrong round. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so if everyone will give me just 1 minute, I have to go check the other rounds. There's someone over here.
And Erica mentioned the subtitle on this trivia event, Season of the Witch. This is the 3rd year that we've done a horror movie trivia event together. So this is Horror Movie Trivia 3, Season of the Witch. We called it that because the 3rd film in the Halloween franchise, of course, is Season of the Witch. There will be a lot of emphasis on sequels throughout this trivia event. No spoilers, but just know that that's a thing.
Okay, looks like it was actually that same person. Alright, Orlok, if you just happen to be in the chat, are you on round 1?
You can communicate via the chat or clairvoyantly, whatever your preference may be.
Clairvoyancy will take way too long.
Well, he is...
No, and this building is not good with it. Guys, I'll tell you this right now. Communication in this building on all levels.
This is true. Yeah. We are in the boiler room, if you will, of the Dundee Library.
It is the Batcave, okay?
Yeah, we are Freddy Krueger adjacent.
Okay, I am not sure. Okay, we're gonna get started right now. Let's just, if anyone has any issue, try to find a way to communicate with us. Easiest way would be through the YouTube chat. But okay, welcome everybody. Like Jason mentioned, this is the 3rd installment of our horror movie trivia. And of course, that's why we called it Season of the Witch. Let's go. Okay, so they're all set to go.
All right,
there will be 3 rounds of 10 questions each. You will have 15 seconds at the time that I trigger the answers for you to select your answer. Now be very careful when you click or tap on your answer because that answer is final. Be very careful. Round 1 starts out with a practice question. And whether you get it right or wrong, it will not count. That's just so that everyone kind of sees how the whole trivia will work. all of the other questions from then on will count. Now, round 1 does have 11 questions in it because of that first practice question. Though you do have 15 seconds, each question is worth starting 10 points. So the longer you take to answer a question, the less amount of points you get, but you are only awarded the points if you answer correctly. Okay? Are you looking out into the dark abyss?
Yeah, into the depths.
Into the depths of our... We do have a window at the very least. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and start. You will see your screen change in a moment. So question number 1, again, this is a practice question. Question number 1. Oops, excuse me. Okay, what is the only movie in the Halloween franchise that does not feature Michael Myers? Okay, so I am going to trigger it now. You have 15 seconds, and it's worth a beginning 10 points. So here we go. Is it Halloween 2? Halloween 3? Is it Halloween H2O? Or is it Halloween Resurrection? Oh, a split answer on that one. Okay, looks like time is just about up. Oh! Okay, so we did get someone right under the wire there.
Surprisingly diverse responses.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
This is what I like to call a mixed bag of answers.
Yeah.
Okay, and the correct answer is... Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch.
Had to include that as the first one.
That is the episode you are watching. Horror Trivia 3, Season of the Witch. I actually really enjoy that movie. I know it's without Michael Myers, but I think it's very creative. You seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to do this annoyingly for every question. I'm going to say, Erica, did you see that?
That would actually be fine because and maybe if there are any veterans watching will know that I always say I watch horror movies abridged.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always like to say it's because some of those movies are not worth the time. Most notably, a lot of those nightmare movies.
Well, we'll talk about those as we go along. Yeah.
The Shamrock.
Shamrock, Leprechaun.
Ella, killing it. I want to just congratulate you on that. All right, so now that that is done, we're going to move on to question number 2. And this is the first one that will count. Question number 2.
In the 1935 classic The Bride of Frankenstein, Elsa Lanchester plays 2 characters, the iconic bride and who else? Is it A, Minnie, B, Elizabeth, C, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley, or D, Dr. Pretorius?
Someone answered very quickly on that.
With great confidence, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, time is up. And the correct answer is...
Correct answer is Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. There's a framing device at the beginning of that film where we get a glimpse of the famous evening where the story of Frankenstein was conceived at the villa in Italy. And Elsa Lanchester plays Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley with her husband Percy and Lord Byron.
Lord Byron.
And of course, she comes back later in the film in the climactic scene with the bride.
And I mean, it's well known she's in the movie for like a good 3 minutes. Like screen time, like no more than 3 minutes. But that is iconic. And I'm just watching her gif right here.
Yes. With her Nefertiti-shaped hair, which was the inspiration.
The inspiration. The lightning bolt. Brilliant. We could probably do a whole trivia on just makeup effects.
We could absolutely do that.
Because
yes.
we should not keep, we should move on.
But an amazing film. And all of those options were characters in the film, but Elsa Lanchester plays the bride and Mary Shelley.
All right, question number 3.
In the 2021 Candyman sequel, a character is seen reading a novel by Clive Barker, the author whose work inspired the Candyman film. Which Clive Barker book is this character reading?
Oops, I'm sorry.
Is it A, Sacrament, B, The Hellbound Heart, C, Cabal, or D, Weave World?
Okay. There's someone missing. Time's running out. Time's running out. Time's running out. No.
Didn't quite get in there.
Oh.
Got. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. You. Good job on this one. Okay,
Very
everyone.
nice,
The correct
yeah.
answer is.
Correct answer is Weave World, and this one was real tricky, and I almost feel like I was a little unkind to you there. Candyman is based on the Hellbound Heart, and that was one of your options. But the character in The Laundromat who's reading a Clive Barker novel in the movie, it's a copy of Weave World. So, this is what you signed up for.
And this is amazing. And this is not going to be the first time we try to trick you. All right. Hope everyone's having fun because we've got so many more questions to go. Question number 4.
In The Conjuring 2, Lorraine experiences visions of a demonic nun. During one of these visions, she scratches the demon's name into her Bible. What is the demon's name? Is it A, Payman, B, Annabelle, C, Valak, or D, Pazuzu?
Someone is really on the ball with these. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Time
Eric
is up.
and I are responding to the answers as they come in. That's what these oohs and ahs are about.
Like, it's fun to watch.
It is.
All right. The correct answer is.
Correct answer is Valak. And a lot of fun with this. Each of the options that were available to you is a demon from a classic horror movie. So, like Payman, option A, is the demon in Hereditary, my personal favorite movie. But
Gosh,
of course,
darn that movie.
I love it so much, but it is so terrifying. Pazuzu was an option. The menacing figure from The Exorcist. But the answer was Valak. And I'm going to try not to do a digression for every question because we are on question 4 of round 1. But how many of you remember in 2019 when there was that news story about that 3-year-old girl who wanted to be the nun for her birthday party? Do you remember this, Erica?
Yes.
I think her name was Lucia or something. But I still think about that very cool, very spooky little girl and the fact that she just wanted to be the demon nun.
That's all you want, you know?
And she had supportive parents who were like, okay.
All right, but, we're going to probably scale it back on the blood and things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a cute party.
Minor tangent. This image that you guys are seeing on your screens right now, that is one of the only examples of something that I could find that had the answer in it. But those are examples of people who have tattooed the nun onto themselves. And that level of commitment, I will never know.
You gotta really love the Conjuring universe to.
All right, question number 4.
Yes, you're right. Okay. In A Quiet Place Part 2, what song do the characters play on the radio in an attempt to communicate with survivors of the alien invasion? Is it A, Fingertips by Stevie Wonder, B, Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin, C, American Girl by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, or D, Banana Boat, Deo, by Harry Belafonte? And
I'm already picturing it.
Barely got that out before time went out. That was
and time is up.
Yes.
Oh, one person didn't get in. I'm sorry. All right, and the correct answer is...
That was a tough question. It was Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin, and all of those options are songs that are prominently featured in different horror films. The Stevie Wonder song is from the recent great film Nope, the Jordan Peele film. American Girl, the Tom Petty song, that's from Silence of the Lambs. But the correct answer, Beyond the Sea, Bobby Darin.
Okay, sorry everyone, I could definitely hear that typing sound, but I wanted to send something in the chat. All right, so now that we have that,
And just a reminder, anybody who wants to communicate via the YouTube Google chat is welcome to do so. You can ask
One
us
tap for
questions if you
yes,
want.
2 taps for no. Okay, now this is in a regular round where we would not have used a practice question. This is where I would show the leaderboard. After 5 questions, I will show where everyone stands at that moment in time for that particular round.
Right.
At the end of certain rounds, I will show you what everyone has accumulated based on all of the rounds. So we're actually going to wait until question 6, and then I'll show you the current standings. So question number 6.
Actor Brad Dourif, best known for his role as Charles Chucky Lee Ray in the Child's Play franchise, played a different serial killer in which of the following films? Is it A, Psycho 2, B, The Exorcist 3, C, Scream 2, or D, The Ring 2?
Time's almost up. Oh! Okay, time is up. And the correct answer is...
Correct answer is B, The Exorcist 3, which is actually a really interesting film. I like it a lot better than The Exorcist 2. I don't like it nearly as well as the first Exorcist film, but it's very interesting in its own right. And yeah, some people have been talking about it more recently since the Dahmer Netflix series came out, for reasons that will be evident if you watch the series.
I don't know if anyone's watching that. I haven't. But I only recently, again, abridged, watched all up to the series. What's that on? The Chucky series.
Oh, Child's Play series?
No, the series, the TV series.
It's on Peacock, I think.
Peacock? Okay, so up until that, I've seen everything up until that point. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, I was frightened to death of this thing. Like, I look at it now, I'm like, I wasted years of my life.
Yeah.
It's just Chucky.
We actually just at home recently rewatched the first 3 or 4 of the Child's Play franchise. They're very fun. They start out kind of silly and they take a real turn into horror comedy, but we'll perhaps have more horror comedy later in this particular
horror comedy, you say? Keep that in mind, everybody.
Just note to self. Yeah.
All right. Now that we are at 5 points questions, or 5 questions that counts for points, let's go ahead and take a look at our leaderboard. All right, we have Orlok having answered the last 4 of 11 correctly, accumulating 28 points. We have Kian having answered the last 2 of 11, accumulating 10 points, and then Kayla having answered 1 of the last 5, or 11 according to this, correctly, getting 2 points. Okay, now remember, this is just the first half of round 1, so you can definitely be moving up and down on that leaderboard.
And in the subsequent round, you'll accumulate points more quickly, probably. So.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to question number 7.
Writer-director Frank Darabont, famous for his Stephen King adaptations, wrote his first screenplay for which movie in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise? Is it A, Freddy's Revenge, B, The Dream Warrior, or Dream Child? Someone answered within seconds on that, which is just amazing to me because this seemed to me like a real deep cut, but...
all right, now... You guys may have all seen me glitch out on the Matrix for a second, because we actually legitimately glitched out for a second. I heard it. So excuse me for just a second. I do have all of your answers. I'm just making sure that everything is still running. This is good. The time is up. This is still streaming. We're still good on that. All right. Thank you, everybody. You can see it. See, like, right there. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Just needed to check on that. All right, so the correct answer is...
Correct answer is B. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
For my money, that's the funniest one of... funniest?
You know, it just seems more genuine to me.
Yeah, I actually like it best of the sequels. I think the original Nightmare on Elm Street stands on its own as kind of its own thing. I think the atmosphere is just about unmatched. But the sequels, you know, they take a turn. Freddy becomes more of a cartoonish figure, but it's not a bad thing. I think...
Speaking of which, cartoonish.
Yeah, speaking of cartoons, right. Yeah, a very appropriate GIF. And we should say that Erica carefully curated all of the animated images that accompany this.
Yeah, no, we didn't relegate this to anybody else.
No,
I took personal responsibility for every single visual that you're going to see today.
Yes.
Okay. Additionally, I do think it's better than The Dream Child.
Yes.
Because that's terrible.
It is.
People sat through that.
Well, and Dream Warriors has that hilarious. Maybe that sounds unkind. I believe Dokken is the hair metal band that has the theme song. Dream Warriors. We're the Dream Warriors. I almost started singing it, and now I'm going to stop myself because this is being recorded.
You're amongst friends.
Yeah.
Or weirdos, whichever one you want to.
It's very fun. Dream Warriors, good movie.
All right. Now, I might mention it a few times, but some of the cast, and I believe some of them from Dream Wars, were at Flashback Weekend a few weeks ago. And they had this whole, like, reunion panel.
Which is very cool, yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't attend it because I was doing something else. But I came into the tail end of it, and they looked like they were having a blast. And I'm like, you know, that's what matters. I love that. Okay, question number 8.
Early in his career, Academy Award-winning actor Matthew McConaughey made an appearance in what horror movie sequel? Is it A, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, B, Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, C, Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf, or D, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation?
Oh, yo, you didn't know. Okay, everyone. Yeah, all of you got this one. Correct answer is...
Correct answer is D, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. I don't know if you all just knew that because you're big fans or because you knew that he was a Texan, but yeah. Honestly, my favorite part of this question is, one, the animated, the GIF that we've got there, and two, that I got to say The Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf, which is one of the most fun horror movie titles.
I've never even heard of it.
You will not believe this. It has Christopher Lee, the great Christopher Lee, as a secondary character.
Secondary?
Well, he's not the lead in the film, but it would be worth watching if for no other reason, just to see Christopher Lee wearing very cool black shades and hanging out with 80s punks. All
right, yo, that's going on the list then.
Yeah.
All right, so another reason I went with this image as well is because Renee Zellweger is also in this movie. Very early in the career, and because I watched, again, this abridged, and it has like behind the scenes information and everything. It was either Matthew or both of these guys that were really fighting hard to keep this movie from being released. And I ran out of time with this, but there's one particular scene where the McConaughey character flips out a window and makes the most... What sound is that? Do humans make that sound?
It
like,
was Mac and me level. Yeah, but the two of them were rising stars in the 90s, and this was not the film that they wanted to represent their.
They
careers,
did not want this out.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, where was I? Too many tangents. Okay, question number 9. We're still on round 1.
Question 9. In the opening sequence of what may be the final film in the Halloween franchise, Halloween Ends, a babysitter and a child watch a horror movie together before things take a tragic turn. What movie are they watching? Is it A, The Fog, B, In the Mouth of Madness, C, They Live, or D, The Thing?
All right. Yeah. I think maybe almost everyone has seen this movie.
It
then
would seem that everyone has. Everyone showed up for Halloween Ends.
correct
whether
answer
or not you're
is
glad you did or not, I don't know. The answer is D, The Thing. All of your options there were John Carpenter films, but this is an interesting Easter egg for fans of the Halloween franchise. In the original Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis as babysitter is allowing the kids to watch the 1940s film that ended up being remade or adapted by John Carpenter as The Thing, if you're with me so far. And in the most recent installment of the Halloween franchise, Halloween Ends, the babysitter in the opening scene is watching John Carpenter's The Thing. So a really nice little homage. I wish that film was better, but you know.
I really like when they add little things like that.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice touch, for sure. And, you know, John Carpenter, great filmmaker who certainly deserves that tribute.
Okay. Additionally, for everybody, and I did forget to say this. I'm much better at reminding everybody. We are on about a 5 to 7 second delay. So that does mean that you do see us kind of stop for a little bit while we deal with the latency. Right now, again, we're at about 5 to 7 seconds.
And that is not a pod person thing or something. We're just, accounting for the delay.
Yep. Okay, so question number 10, which on another round would normally be the end, but we do have a question 11. So, question number 10.
Evil bites. This is the movie tagline for which of the following horror sequels? Is it A, 28 Weeks Later, B, Blade 2, C, Ginger Snaps 2 Unleashed, or D, Pet Sematary 2?
Oh.
This was a tough one.
Time's ending. Okay, time is up. Mixed bag of answers here, and the correct answer is...
Correct answer is C, Ginger Snaps 2 Unleashed. Really like the first of the Ginger Snap films. I thought that was a really creative werewolf movies, and I love werewolf movies. They are so seldom good, but Ginger Snaps is really creative, and I think it's cool that it became its own franchise. As taglines go, Evil Bites for a werewolf movie, it's pretty fun.
Okay, I have yet to see that one. Either one.
First one, definitely check it out.
Second one, if I get to it. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say yes.
All right. Question number 11 and the last question of round 1.
How many Ghostface killers have there been throughout the Scream franchise, beginning with Scream 1996 and continuing through Scream 2022? This is exclusive to the films and not the Scream television show. How many Ghostface killers have there been? Is it A, 3, B, 6, C, 9, or D, 12?
Still have a good amount of time. We have one more person probably thinking, oh, okay, we got him. Okay. Well, people are good with numbers. All right, time is up, and the correct answer is...
Correct answer is C. There were 9 Ghostface killers. And if you're thinking to yourself, that's too many Ghostface killers for the number of Scream films, got to remember that they were buddy killers.
Buddy killers.
I don't want to provide too many spoilers for people who haven't seen the whole franchise yet. But as in the first film, there were sometimes multiple characters working in tandem. So there you go.
All right. Now, I do see that there's obviously the image that I have here doesn't show all of them, but I didn't want to. I thought it was interesting how it showed the differences or the variety of the Ghostface masks.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
The way the mask evolved. Yeah.
Because if you look at it normally, you're like, okay, yeah, whatever, that's Ghostface. But it's just like the Michael Myers mask. It's just like the Jason mask. Each one has like little differences.
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
the real diehards will be able to tell you, oh yeah, that's Scream 2. It's like, oh no, that's the original. Where I'm sitting here going, it's Ghostface. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, catching up on the chat. Everyone's still good. All right, everyone. So that is the end of round 1.
And we will attempt to pick up the pace a bit in round 2.
We don't have to, but we probably should.
We don't have to.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and show the winner, basically the winner of round 1. All right, so it looks like Orlog, having gotten 8 of the last 11 answers correct, with 59 points, followed by, is that Keegan or Keelan? I remember
maybe
asking you this at the last trivia, but I don't know what the answer is. You got
I was going to say
24
Kellen.
points. Kellen, that's another one. Kellen, 24 points, and then Kayla, having answered the last 4 of 11 correct.
Good showing by everybody.
All right, so now I'm going to move everyone over to the next round, so you're going to see your screen change in a moment. All right, everyone should have Horror Movie Trivia 3, Round 2, Horror Comedy.
The theme
This
of
is
this
my
round,
genre.
horror comedy. There is a bit of a surprise for me going on in this round. This is the only one of the 3 rounds in which I don't know what any of the questions are. I will be experiencing them for the first time, just like you are.
I mean, to be fair, it isn't your genre,
True.
but it is mine. It's
Right.
it's my favorite of the horror genres, because I think a lot of times it's there's still gore, there's still blood, there's still all that, but the stories are really interesting.
Yeah.
And comedy, it just brings on, like, you're already suspended disbelief, so let's bring in comedy. Okay, and let me go ahead. I'm just making sure that everything's good. All right, everyone, I am going to activate this round now. And everything's still the same. You still have 15 seconds to answer the 10 questions. And they all start with a starting point of 10 points and will decrease from there depending on how quickly you answer correctly. All right?
Question 1. Aside from the 3 main Universal monsters, which of these also appeared in the film Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein? Is it A, Gillman, B, the Phantom, C, the Mummy, or D, the Invisible Man?
All right, still have a few more seconds.
I love that gif. Got the reflected vampire bat.
Yeah, I know. That was like high-tech filmmaking back then.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, looks like everyone answered. Correct answer is...
Correct answer is D, the Invisible Man. And just before we started, that one. That image gives you some sense of the fun of the film Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I was telling Erica before we started that 2 years ago I got to see Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein at the drive-in theater as part of a Universal Monsters marathon. And I don't watch a lot of horror comedy, but I thought it was great. As someone who really likes the Universal Monster films, it was cool to see what they would have considered a comedic send-up, back in the.
And they did a good job.
Yeah, they absolutely.
Yeah, that's also the movie where, and I'm just gonna point him out, the guy who's not rowing. So you got Bud, and then Bud Abbott, and then oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Abbott and Costello. You have him sitting on Frankenstein's lap.
The movie's a lot of fun. You get plenty of Lon Chaney Jr. in that film, and he is not necessarily known for his range, but he's, I think, a lot of fun in
Yeah.
In that comedic role.
All right. So remember, all of these questions now count. So if you didn't get that one, I'm sorry you didn't get points. Okay. Question number 2.
During a cameo appearance in Young Frankenstein, what actor says, "Wait, where are you going? I was going to make espresso." Not having seen these questions in advance, I hope I did justice to that great actor. Is it A, Peter Boyle, B, Gene Hackman, C, Lionel Atwill, or D, Elsa Lanchester?
Okay, we have a few more seconds, and there's at least one more person that still needs to answer. Oh, okay, we got it. Okay, we got no one on that, but you might notice that it was myself and someone else who crafted these questions, and we didn't really go for too much difficulty. We just went for stuff that really made us laugh.
It certainly made me laugh. I hope I got the question out appropriately. Answer is B, Gene Hackman. I think Erica knows this. I think I saw Young Frankenstein before I saw the original James Whale directed Frankenstein. So that provided context, the parody before the original. But Gene Hackman's so funny in that little role. Yeah.
There was a time in college, because the movie The Producers, which was based on the Broadway musical of the same name and created by Mel Brooks, I got really into like, oh, what else has he made?
Yeah.
And Young Frankenstein was on there, so I did watch Young Frankenstein before I watched actual Frankenstein.
I recently went through some of the Frankenstein sequels, and I think streaming now on Peacock, you could watch Son of Frankenstein. And it's interesting how much Mel Brooks took from that film for his parody. Young Frankenstein has much more in common with that than it does with the original or The Bride of Frankenstein.
Well, it used a lot of the same, like, props.
Yes, similar props, characterizations from the character actors as well.
Yeah.
Certain mannerisms. Mel Brooks, man.
Fabruca. Okay, question number 3. I half expect a horse emoji.
Yeah. Complete the quote from What We Do in the Shadows. We're werewolves, not blank.
Oh, yeah, okay, so we are talking about the 2014 film, not the series.
Right. And I will not attempt the accent, but it's funnier in the movie. Is it A, they're wolves, B, bear wolves, C, curse wolves, or D, swear wolves?
See? Made you laugh. Oh, we're missing one. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, correct answer is...
Swearwolves. The full quote is, "We're werewolves, not swearwolves."
And that's Rhys Darby, right?
It is.
Rhys Darby.
He's so great.
I still haven't seen Our Flag Means Death. I will.
I haven't seen it yet.
I will, but I am actually looking forward to that one a lot because it looks really good. Okay, question number 4.
In Bride of Chucky, what material does Tiffany use to learn how to resurrect Chucky? What material?
You'll see in a minute.
Is it A, Voodoo for Dummies, B, an episode of The Martha Stewart Show, C, The Heart of Damballa, or D, The Good Guy Doll Manual? That's an excellent question.
Okay, time is up. Okay, the other person did get it right on time. Okay, and the correct answer is...
Correct answer is A, Voodoo for Dummies.
And I wish I had the visual. I don't.
Just imagine the bright yellow cover. She's in her Airstream trailer.
It exists. Hang on.
Looking like Jennifer Tilly. She's great.
And for those of you who may follow, who may follow memes and everything, they've actually been using that meme recently. Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now because I actually really loved it. I thought it was really funny.
What you don't see behind the scenes.
But you don't see behind the scenes.
Erica's uncovering the image and then uploading it, I think. Yeah.
See? You can buy the prop.
That's very funny.
That old-fashioned.
Yeah. And I love that it's not just voodoo for dummies, but that it would also include a spell to resurrect, the soul that's entrapped within the doll, right? It's very specific, but it's cute. It's a fun.
Oh. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put that away. I just really wanted to put that on there. Okay, and question number 5.
In Chopping Mall, one of the killbots is destroyed using which of these typical mall amenities? Is it A, a fountain, B, a bathroom hand dryer, C, an escalator, or D, an elevator?
Oh, okay, good. We got one. Okay, so time is up, and the correct answer is...
Correct answer is D, an elevator. I'm not sure I would have gotten that correct. It's been a long time since I've seen Chopping Mall, but I remember thinking it was really fun. It might be on Shudder. I think maybe it's streaming there. But that is a very fun, low-budget 80s horror movie.
We got one chat in the chat, or something. Gasp.
Gasp.
What were you gasping? I missed it. Okay.
Perhaps the fate of the killbots.
The killbot. In the elevator, it gets lured in by one of the characters.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then it gets. Does it get crushed or does it get? I think it gets crushed. No.
Did they blow it
There's
up?
There's propane involved,
Yes.
and then they shoot it, and they shoot the propane. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and that is the end of 5 questions. So now I'm going to go ahead and show where everyone stands at the moment. This is only halfway through round 2. So here's where everyone stands. All right, Kayla overtaking everybody, gaining 28 points, having answered the last 4 of 10 correct.
Very strong round.
Having answered 5 of the last 10 correct, getting 11 points. And then Kellen, having answered 1 of the last 10 correct, getting 8 points. Now you may say, why is Kayla, who only answered the last 4 correct, gaining? Well, because Kayla probably answered much faster than Orlok. So Orlok may have taken a few seconds to answer and then just did not accumulate as many points.
And these are only for round 2. So
This
these
is
are not
just round 2. At the end of round 2, I'll show you your cumulative score.
Everyone doing great.
All right, next up, question number 6.
Which animal was not represented as one of the killer's masks in Your Next? Is it A, wolf, B, fox, C, tiger, or D, lamb?
One more. Time's almost up. Oh, time's up. Yes, I love when people do that. They're like, I'm getting in there.
This question would have stumped me. I would not know the answer to this.
All right. Correct answer is...
Answer is A, wolf.
Darn, it did not go through. Okay, I should have... There was supposed to be an image there. But the if you look at like the teaser poster for Your Next, which I actually thoroughly enjoyed, I love the premise of Your Next. The image looks a lot like a wolf, like a lot. Where the person who did this and we're like, that's a wolf, right? Yeah. Okay. And we looked and it's like, no, it's a fox.
Huh.
Very, very similar. You still got the snout, you still got the pointy ears. So it is a fox, a tiger, and a lamb that are the three people that, well, the three assailants.
Interesting.
And if you have yet to see Your Next, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But that's not the three assailants, that's not the only assailants. So I actually thoroughly had a good time with the story of Your Next. Okay. Question number 7.
In Happy Death Day, in one day, Tree ends up in a hospital bed. What ends up being the reason? A. She's put herself in voluntarily. B. She's wounded but not murdered. C. Her wounds seem to be compounding. Or D. She's handcuffed to one to prevent her escape.
I don't know if that was just Crowdpert delaying us showing the answers, but it looked like all of you conspired to answer that in the literal half second before the time was up.
I think it's because it was a tough question for them.
Yeah. Okay, so correct answer is
Correct answer is C. Her wounds seem to be compounding. Erica, you need to address this because you love Happy Death Day more than anybody I know.
It's a great movie.
That's very creative.
It is better than the sequel, but the sequel, I still had a lot of fun with the sequel. Because Tree, I believe it's Teresa, she is reliving her death on her birthday, day after day. It's Groundhog Day, but for death, right?
That's a good way of looking at it.
And because she is dying in all of these multiple ways, her body is actually dying. So all of these injuries that she's suffered, they're compounding. She ends up in the hospital in one of them because she passes out or something. And her x-rays, they're like, it looks like you've been fighting, because she has all of this internal bruising and everything. So yeah, her wounds are compounding as she keeps having to repeat these days over and over again. And in the sequel, there is a very fun sequence of how she's just like, well, forget it, I'm just gonna go do my stuff, and jumps out of a plane without a parachute at one point. Guys, that movie's great. It's just fun. But it's not just because it's fun. There's some serious character development in it. There is some obvious familial trauma that does actually end up being addressed, and it's really good. I really like that part. Okay, so question number, where are we? 8.
Finish the quote from Jennifer's Body. Do you buy all your murder weapons at blank? I can't do Megan Fox, but excellent line delivery in that film. Is it A, Lowe's, B, True Value, C, Walmart, or D, Home Depot?
Time's almost up. Time's up. And the correct answer is... Not that any of you needed it, because that is actually one of the most iconic quotes of that entire movie.
It is very memorable. Yeah. Climactic scene, and everyone knows. She shows up with a box cutter and is prepared enough, but Jennifer is unimpressed. Yeah.
I actually struggled a little bit to come up with one more hardware store. So I thought Walmart was funny enough.
Yeah,
I almost put Target. But yeah, so I'm like, I need to come up with something. I need to throw them off.
Yeah.
Okay, catching up on the chat. Okay, we're still good on that. All right, moving on to question number 9. Almost done with round 2, guys.
I should just quickly say, the author Carmen Maria Machado wrote a really interesting piece about Jennifer's Body, which you can find online. I think it was published last month, or maybe at the very beginning of October. But a great author who is addressing what's now like a cult classic. Check it out.
What's the gist? Is it...
She addresses it from the perspective of desire for the characters in the film, and that Jennifer is an object of desire, but also expresses her own desire. It's great. Yeah. Worth reading.
I like the ending. It was great.
Which shadow trick does one of the clowns use to eat a group of people in Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
You knew we had to have something of Killer Clowns. You had to.
Is it A, a dinosaur, B, a dragon, C, a shark, or D, a lion? I'm enjoying these horror comedy questions way too much.
Yeah.
This is okay.
We did a good job. Oh, mixed bag of answers.
Oh, interesting.
Time is up. Correct answer is...
Correct answer is A, a dinosaur.
Darn.
And yeah, the shadow trick. It's hard to explain, but it's a very interesting, like, practical effect. It's almost like playing shadow puppets against a brick wall, in a very playful way. But then the shadow puppet, if you will, manages to eat the humans.
I completely apologize for all of the typing that I'm doing, everyone.
Erica wants you to have a visual for this, which is good because I'm obviously not describing this or doing this scene justice. If you haven't seen it, you should watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The Kyoto brothers, is that right? Yeah. There we go. Okay.
I had completely forgotten about this.
Right, brick wall, you know, shadow puppet kind of thing. Gobbling people up.
All right. The person who helped me write these, they're just like, yeah, and they do. I was reading just out of nowhere, they're like, oh yeah, dinosaur, and I'm like, yeah, I was like, yeah, they do this and that, and I'm sitting there like,
It's memorable. I remembered it, and I haven't seen this movie in years. Although Killer Clowns have been on my mind because the outdoor Halloween decorations, what are they, the animatronics? Seems like this year there's a lot of Killer Clowns. There's one in my neighborhood.
There was a lot of Killer Clown stuff. Even more last year. There was so much stuff. There was a shorty with boxing gloves.
Yes, I've seen that.
All right, moving on to question number 10 and the final question of round 2.
Final question of the horror comedy round. Name the movie from the quote, "It's true, Chad, you're half hillbilly." It's true, Chad, you're half hillbilly. Is it A, Evil Dead, B, Cabin in the Woods, C, Tucker and Dale versus Evil, or D, Wrong Turn?
Time's almost up. Oh, someone did. Okay, correct answer is...
Correct answer is C, Tucker and Dale versus
Tucker and Dale.
Evil. I have not seen this movie, but I would have guessed this just because we had Hillbilly in there, and I've seen the movie poster for Tucker and Dale, so it seems on brand.
It is fantastic.
Yeah, you like it a lot?
I like it a lot, and I would not have watched it without... I should just say that the person who helped me write all of these is my sister, and we watch so much horror stuff together. Like, she's like my youngest sister, right? There's well over a decade age gap there, but we have just consumed all this horror content.
Yeah.
And I had not seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil. We had to see it. She sat me down, okay, let's go. And it's pretty darn fantastic.
Well, I'll definitely be watching it. It's
Okay.
true, Chad. You're half hillbilly.
You're half hillbilly. It's the line.
That's pretty silly. Yeah.
Okay, that is the end of round 2.
Doing pretty good on time.
Okay, and I'm sorry, everybody, we did not include any of these scary movies in these because those are comedies with horror elements.
Yeah,
those are not horror movies.
I'm glad that you did not include those.
But I wanted to give it an homage because those were actually my gateway into horror movies.
I can see that. Yeah.
And, man, I was 10 or 11 years old when that first one came out, and I don't know what. No, I think it was on TV. because I'm like, I didn't go to the movies, so how would I have seen it? It was probably on TV. Okay, so now I'm going to move everyone over to the third and last round of this trivia. So everyone is going to see their screen change in a moment. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. I have not done the rankings.
Right, we should
I
look at the
didn't do the
leaderboard.
rankings.
Yeah.
I was so caught up on the GIF and Scary Movie.
We're so excited to talk about horror comedy.
So here is the winner of round 2. Kayla! Having answered the last
Very
6 of 10
nice.
correct, accumulating 43 points, and even though they did answer every question correctly, Orlok only accumulated 20 points. And don't argue with us, this is all crowd per. This is exactly what we decided to go with crowd per. We cannot do anything about it. And then Kellen, having answered the last 3 of 10 correct, accumulating 20 points, and is tied with Orlok.
Excellent. This is great showing.
Alright guys, round 3. Alright, Horror Movie 3, Round 3, the Netflix originals. All of the following questions will have some basis in Netflix.
Correct. And that's not because Eric and I work for the Netflix Corporation. We could have chosen any platform. I thought about just doing Shudder originals. I thought that would be cool. But
Cult TV.
Cult TV would have been great. But we chose Netflix because, well, it just seemed like a lot of the titles on that platform would be recognizable to you horror fans. So it'll be fun. We'll have a Netflix horror round.
All right, and if you're a veteran of these trivias, you're going to know this is round 3, and I get extra evil on this one because I have cut your time. You now only have 10 seconds to answer all of the questions. However, each question starts off being worth 20 points. So if you don't like where you're currently standing, you can definitely make your way up in this round. But remember, you only get the points if you answer correctly. Okay, we can go.
Question 1. The movie 1922, based on a novella by Stephen King, is set in the town of Hemingford Home, Nebraska. This location is also featured in which of the following horror films? Is it A, Children of the Corn, B, Secret Window, C, Needful Things, or D, The Stand?
Okay, everybody, I think we have some brand recognition here. Correct answer is...
Correct answer was D, The Stand.
And no one got this correct.
I feel like I was pretty tricky on this one. Children of the Corn might seem like it's the right title, or the right choice, but Hemingford Home is a significant location in The Stand, both the novel and the film adaptation. Mother Abigail, that's her headquarters. And it was also used for the Netflix original, 1922.
All right. Also, that just goes to show, don't go to Nebraska. Okay, just...
Or do, I would say in the apocalypse, that's better than Las Vegas, which is where...
That's a good point.
You know.
I mean, unless you're really into going to go see, like, little punks who hang out in the corn and wear funky hats. You know, whatever, and I won't judge. Whatever you guys want to do in your, you know...
He
what
who
is
walks
it?
between the rows.
Okay, let's see. Question number 2.
The Fear Street trilogy, based on R.L. Stine's book series of the same name, explores the centuries-old Shadyside curse. Who is revealed to be responsible for this bloody curse? The Good Family, the founders of Sunnyvale, the counselors at Camp Nightwing, or the accused witch Sarah Fair?
You know, I said that I was the evil one. No, it's you.
It's me.
Correct answer is...
Correct answer is The Good Family. This is it's a trilogy, so you got to watch all 3 parts for this to be revealed. But all comes down to the good family who, in 1666, I think, were well, responsible for bad things.
And of course, and I said this earlier, of course it's a family called Good.
Yeah.
R.L. Stein, right on the nose there.
Famously subtle author R.L. Stein.
All right, catching up in the chat. We're still good in the chat. Okay, question number 3.
Gerald's Game, based on the Stephen King novel of the same name, includes references to multiple works in the King universe. Which of the following is not directly referenced in Gerald's Game? A. Cujo, B. The Dark Tower series, C. Salem's Lot, or D. Bag of Bones?
All right, that is everybody, and correct answer is...
Correct answer is C. Salem's Lot. There are direct references to the other Stephen King works mentioned, as well as others in the extended King universe. Salem's Lot not directly referenced in Gerald's Game. However, I would argue Salem's Lot was a significant influence on Midnight Mass, which is another Mike Flanagan adaptation. Not an adaptation, an original, which I think was inspired by Salem's Lot, among other things.
All right, question number 4.
The 2 lead characters in His House are refugees who experience strange phenomena in their new home on the outskirts of London. From what country did these characters flee? Is it A. Ethiopia, B. South Sudan, C. Congo, or D. Uganda?
All right, everyone got that, and yeah, everyone's answering very quickly. Correct answer is...
Correct answer is B. South Sudan. I believe everyone got that correct. So hopefully that means you all watched that great movie. I think His House is one of the best films I saw in 2020. I went into that with not knowing a lot about it, and just a very well done horror film which has some genuine scares, but also is really about feelings of displacement. And as mentioned, the lead characters are refugees in London. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Although it seems like all of you have, since you all got it correct.
All right, question number 5, and we will be seeing the current round's leaderboard at the end of this next question.
The lead character in Hush, played by Kate Siegel, is a horror author who is unable to hear or speak. What caused her to lose these abilities? Is it A. Bacterial meningitis, B. A crossbow injury, C. Genetic hearing loss, or D. Falling through a skylight?
Okay, time is up, and the correct answer is...
Correct answer is A. Bacterial meningitis, which is a very real thing and can cause those loss of those abilities. Getting shot with a bolt from a crossbow cannot result in that, but does happen in the movie, as Eric and I both know.
We were talking about it. Again, I saw this abridged, and it's like, oh!
It
like,
does happen.
wow.
Yeah. Again, quality Jeff work, man. Yeah.
There was actually a sequence, and I had to pick just the one. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this one. It's just so, like, if all you see is this, that's like, okay, now I'm intrigued. What's going on?
Gonna want to watch that movie.
Alright, so that is the end of 5 questions. So let's go ahead and take a look at where everyone stands for this current round. Alright, we have Kellen taking the lead with 34 points, having answered the last 3 of 10 correct. Kayla also with 3 points. I'm sorry, having answered the last 3 of 10 correct, accumulating 30 points, and is tied with Orlok, who only answered 2 of the last 10 correct, also accumulating 30 points.
How about that?
All right, and we're almost done, guys. So we really focused on round 1 an hour ago. That was an hour ago.
Well, we knew we needed to pick up the pace. So we're doing great. We're good on time, and everybody's really killing it.
All right, question number 6.
Which of the following films is based on a novel by Adam Neville and follows a group of hikers lost in a Swedish forest? Is it A, Caliber, B, Apostle, C, The Ritual, or D, Malevolent?
Time is up, and the correct answer is...
Correct answer is The Ritual.
which no one needed, because all of you got that.
All of you got that.
Wow.
Erica's got the book cover there. Pretty good adaptation. I thought the book was really interesting. There's a very cool, well thought out twist in the novel that does not carry over to the movie adaptation. So if you're interested in this kind of thing and you saw the movie but were thinking about checking out the book, it would still be rewarding, I think, even with already having seen the film.
All right, catching up with the chat. Everyone's good. Let's go ahead and move on to question number 7.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the most recent film in the franchise, features one survivor of Leatherface's 1973 killing spree. What is this character's name? Is it A, Pam, B, Jerry, C, Franklin Hardesty, or D, Sally Hardesty?
All right, time is up. And wow. Okay, you know what? You're not evil anymore.
I guess not.
Okay, correct answer is...
Correct answer is D, Sally Hardesty. All of the options there were the victims of the original 1973 killing spree, but the one survivor pictured here, nicely done, Erica, is Sally. You see her in that iconic final shot of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then on the right, the modern actor who portrays her in the 1922, the 2022
Yeah.
sequel. Same actress who appears in Mandy as one of the cult members. We were talking about this earlier. And she's also in The Northman, the Robert Eggers Viking Revenge
The movie?
Yeah. So an actor with a lot of range. Good for her. Yeah.
Although I did say, and I stand by it, for having been the survivor and the way that she was presented, I did expect more out of this character.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not my favorite.
It's not like I'm a big fan of the series as it is,
No.
but, like, at least this character, like, come on. Like, come on.
Here's a question. Would you rather watch, if you had to do it again, would you rather watch the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one in question, or the Matthew McConaughey, Renee Zellweger?
Oh, yo, what? No, oh, no, fine, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. That would be my
Fine.
choice. Honestly, I think I would get more laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because this current one, the 2022, had, we're going to cancel you, or you're going to be so canceled or something, and I'm sitting there going like, oh.
Erica's like, this is not what I want from Mia.
All right, question number 8. Oh, how evil.
Yeah.
Yo, he's the one that thought it up, okay? It was all him. All right,
In the Tall Grass is based on a horror novella by authors Stephen King and Joe Hill. Which of the following was not adapted from works by Joe Hill? Is it A, Mr. Harrigan's phone, B, lock and key, C, horns, or D, the black phone?
Okay, time is up, and the correct answer is...
Correct answer is A, Mr. Harrigan's phone, which is adapted from a Stephen King work. The other options, lock and key, horns, and the black phone, are all adapted from Joe Hill works. And the black phone, which just came out this year, you can stream it. I thought real creepy.
I have not seen it at all in any form, but I do know the core story, and I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, it was well done. It's a good ghost story.
All right, question number 9.
Director Oz Perkins is a master of atmospheric supernatural films like I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. The director's real-life father was an actor who played which of the following iconic movie villains? Is it A, Pinhead from Hellraiser, B, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, C, Norman Bates from Psycho, or D, Pennywise from It?
All right, time is up. Another mixed bag of answers here, and the correct answer is...
Correct answer is C, Norman Bates from Psycho.
I don't think I have... No.
Director Oz Perkins, his father is Anthony Perkins, who famously played Norman Bates, the very troubled young man from Psycho.
And in the sequel.
And in the sequel, yeah. Psycho, he came back for Psycho 2, and that's actually a movie worth watching, I think. Pretty interesting.
It was on TV once, but I was just kind of like browsing, and I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Until later, I was like, Psycho had a sequel?
It did, still with the same lead, and it made him sympathetic.
Honestly, I think so.
Yeah, interesting. I think the way I phrased this question made it clear that I'm a pretty big fan of Oz Perkins. If you like slow burn ghost stories, he is the director for you. I'm the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House. Check it out. But the one I would recommend most highly is The Blackcoat's Daughter. Very creepy tale.
Oh, that was actually on, as I was setting up the YouTube stream, that was one of the recommended movies.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's great. He also did Gretel and Hansel.
The action movie?
It's a live action movie. It came out 2020.
Oh no, okay, then it's not the one I was thinking about. Okay, because there's one from long ago that looked terrible.
No, it's still a horror fantasy.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Question number 10, and the final question for this round, and the trivia as a whole.
Director Mike Flanagan is most famous for Netflix series such as The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, The Midnight Club, and the upcoming The Fall of the House of Usher. Which series is not based on a work of literature? Is it A, The Haunting of Hill House, B, The Haunting of Bly Manor, C, Midnight Mass, or D, The Midnight Club?
Oh, time is up, and you go, correct answer is, and you go down being evil again.
I stumped everyone in this. Wow, I'm really happy with that. Okay. Midnight Mass was an original Mike Flanagan story. So Haunting of Hill House is based on the great Shirley Jackson novel of the same name. Haunting of Bly Manor is based on Turn of the Screw, a novella by Henry James. And The Midnight Club is inspired by the Christopher Pike YA series. So Midnight Mass is the answer. Did anybody get that right?
All right, yeah, no one got that right.
Wow.
It was the one question that was not selected. Everyone selected a different answer.
Okay, how about
All
that?
right, so that is the end of round 3.
I'm excited to see what how things ended up here. I feel like there was sort of a turning of the tide in the leaderboard.
All right, so I'm going to show you who won round 3, followed by who won the trivia as a whole. So here we go. And round 3, Kellen Keegan, however you spell your name, or you pronounce your name. You answered the last 6 of 10 correctly, accumulating 72 points and tying with Orlok with 72 points, but Orlok only answered 5 of the last 10 correct. And then Kayla came up third, having answered the last 6 of 10 correct, accumulating 64 points. So congratulations.
Very close round.
I know, right? Like this one got people. Okay, now I don't want to say crown, but now to name or unveil our trivia winner as a whole. This is going to accumulate all of the points from all of the rounds. So that is Orlok, accumulating 151 points through 10 rounds and 30 questions. Having answered the last 23 of 31 correct, followed by Kayla answering 16 of the last 31 correct, accumulating 125 points, and Kellen having answered the last 14 of 31 questions correctly, accumulating 16 points. So, excellent job, everybody.
Really impressive.
That was a lot. That was
not always this close.
It is not. It really isn't. Our last horror trivia, someone dominated the entire thing. Our first horror trivia, someone dominated the whole thing.
Yeah.
And even in my Simpsons trivia, Treehouse of Horrors a little while ago, there was one person who just got it all, who may have been Kellen, now that I think about it. Okay, so congratulations, everybody. Thank you so much for participating. We are just under the wire of our cutoff time.
We did it.
So we wanted to just shout out our next trivia event. That'll be in November. So November 7th at 6:30 to 7:30, we have Marvel MCU Phase 4 trivia. So that will be all of the Marvel movies within the Phase 4 segment. And that will not be us. That will be somebody else.
Right.
So if you're really tired of us, you won't have to deal with us then. But go ahead and register. That really helps us out. Go ahead and check it out. That will also be on a Monday. So remember, November 7th. And with that, thank you. Ella's
so
wishing
much.
us. Great job, everyone. All right, well, thank you very much, everyone. I am going to go and leave the stream up for just a few more seconds, but I'm going to just make us be quiet then. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. See you at the next one.